Bebsy, let's move into the win total market. What are you looking at here? Let me move over there myself. Regular season wins. What is jumping out at you?
There's 5 that I like, and I think they're easy picks, and then there's 2 that I'm kind of like, yeah, okay, I'm leaning towards this way. And so we'll start with the Atlanta Falcons. Their total is set at 7.5. I think 8-8 is easy for these guys. They underachieved last year. I think you and I both were on them early, and they really stumbled out of the gates. But towards the end of the year, they started to be one of the better teams in football. They stuck with Quinn when I thought they wouldn't, and I like that move. I think Quinn is a good coach. Teams have some down years, so despite the fact that they're going to be in a tough division, I like the Falcons to press this year and maybe get up around 9 or 10 wins. So I like that one. The Bills are set at 8.5, and I feel like this is just disrespect to the history of the Buffalo Bills. This is a talented football team, and I think they'll be encouraged by the fact that Brady is gone. Again, I don't personally think Brady's a huge factor with the Patriots this year, but I just think the Bills are super talented. They had one of the best defenses in football last year. They added Quentin Jefferson. They added Josh Norman. On offense, they added Stephon Diggs. This is a good football team. It really boils down to how well Josh Allen plays, but they're probably going to win the division. And I just think 8.5 for a win total on them is kind of disrespectful. So that's an easy take for me. The Bengals are at 5.5. Now, they had the number 1 overall pick. We all love Joe Burrow. But the Bengals, they have so many holes in their roster still. They're going to get a lift because their left tackle, who was the first-round pick the year before, who didn't play all last season, he's going to play. They will be better, but they don't have it yet. And I really think 5.5 is high. They're in a very difficult division. That they could go 0-6 in their division. So they're going to struggle. And look, Joe Burrow, for as great as he was last year, look at that LSU football team. He had a phenomenal amount of weapons around him there. It's just going to be hard for him out the gates. I think he's going to get banged up. I think he's going to get frustrated. I don't see 6 wins for the Bengals this year. I might see 4, maybe. So I take the under on that. The Chargers at 7.5 too. They look, this Chargers football team, they always limp out the gates, but they're a fantastic football team. The Bengals coach on his way out midseason. Yeah, good chance. He really didn't do anything last year, and I don't think he's going to do anything this year. But back to the Chargers. Look, that defense is just absolutely lights out, and they added Harris to that secondary. So now you've got Harris, Hayward, Derwin James is healthy. They are going to be a nasty, nasty group on defense. Bosa's fresh off his new contract. Melvin Ingram on the other side. They're going to be so strong on defense. And I think Tyrod Taylor might be an upgrade over Phillip Rivers at this stage in the career. Phillip Rivers just throws picks now. He underthrows so many balls. It was probably frustrating for a lot of these guys playing with him last year. And Tyrod Taylor has never been given a fair shake anywhere he's gone. I think he's obviously not a stud, but I think he's a very serviceable quarterback. And therefore, I think the Chargers are going to be very good. They don't lose anything with Melvin Gordon. Melvin Gordon is the most overhyped running back in the NFL. If you look at his highlight reel, it's really sad. Like, he just runs through open holes. That's the only time he gets yards. He doesn't make anybody miss. He doesn't break tackles. He's a trash running back. They're not going to miss him. They still have Eckler. I think that team rolls, again, in a tough division, but they're going to be over 7.5. The other one is Niners, 10.5. Look, the Niners lost to Forrest Buckner and Emmanuel Sanders, but they replaced them with Javon Kinlaw and Brandon Ayuk, who apparently Ayuk through camp has just been an absolute stud. And they're getting guys back like Trent Taylor. They're getting DJ Jones back healthy. Kentavious Street apparently looks phenomenal. They they're only going to get better this year. 10.5, I think, albeit a high total. I think they're a 12 or 13 win team again. They're easily the best team in that division, and I say that knowing very well that the Cardinals will be better and the Seattle Seahawks are always good. But that, I think, is an easy total. Now, the other two that I'm looking at are Bucks 9.5 and Steelers 9. I like the Bucks under, and I like the Steelers over. I think the Steelers, like I mentioned before, are getting a little bit disrespected because of the lack of Big Ben last year. I think they hit the ground running, and that defense will easily carry them to 10-plus wins this year. The Bucks, we're putting a lot of love in them because they added Brady and Gronk, but Brady's 43. Gronk didn't play last year. I don't know if you've seen any of the highlights from Gronk at camp. He looks like he can't run. He looks like a 50-year-old man with 2 broken knees. I understand he's a big beast, but he's playing at a smaller weight than he was before. I think O.J. Howard is still the TE1 in that offense. Who knows what Chris Evans is going to be like after that gruesome hamstring injury last year. But also, Brady's playing in a system that he's never played in before. And if you look at Bruce Arians over the years, he likes to air the ball out. Brady, I'm sorry, Brady fans, he doesn't have the arm he did 10 years ago. He underthrew a lot of balls last year. He struggled to get that ball out a lot of times. And now he doesn't have the system he had. He doesn't have the same timing routes he had. And he doesn't have the offensive line he had. I think they got a lot of hype to go 8-8 this year.
We have a question in from the chat. Omar, we will review everything here at the end of the show. Jake Kaiser said, thoughts on Lions, Detroit Lions over 7. 6.5 is what's at Bet365, heavily juiced to the over. Thoughts on Detroit Lions, 6.5 for 7?
To be honest with you, I'd stay away from the Detroit Lions because we don't know what that team is yet. I still don't know if I believe in Patricia as a head coach. He hasn't turned that team around like we thought. I think Jeff Okudah is a stud. I think he will transform that secondary, and that defense is going to get a lot better. I just wonder offensively if they have the juice to move the ball enough. Look, they're going to be right around that win total. I don't know if I love them or not, but my instinct is to stay away from that.
Question here from Mark Rosado. Thoughts on the Eagles? Their win total is at 9.5, juice to the under.
I think the Eagles should win that division. I think. Look, they have 2 major concerns, and one of them is health. Carson Wentz is a phenomenal quarterback when healthy. He gets disrespected because he's hurt a lot. And then they lost Brendan Graham. Or they lost, wait, is that his name? Who's their guard they lost? He was the best guard in football last year. Why am I drawing a blank?
Hold up here.
I worry about them protecting Carson Wentz right now and keeping him healthy. I don't know. They should be the best team in that division. I think for all the love that the Cowboys get, they didn't address the needs they really should have in the offseason. They added CeeDee Lamb to an already very talented receiving core when they should have helped out their secondary, and they should have probably looked for an early replacement for Travis Frederick. Brandon Brooks, thank you, Mark. Losing Brandon Brooks is really going to hurt. He was the best guard in football last year, and look, their priority is keeping Wentz healthy. So Wentz is healthy, they should win 10, 11 games maybe. But if he gets hurt, it's season over for them.
I like it. Great breakdown. You're going to see Bebsy all year long here on odds.com.